Hey guys, today I'll be talking about how the Coop Burtonburger's life got turned upside down when the evil cat lands on Earth. Anyways, let's get started with the video. It all started one day in the Burtonburger household where Millie, Coop, and his dad were playing ball. Somehow the ball lands into the forest. Not knowingly, there was actually a pink cat that would ruin his life. Coop gets scared and runs off. Not knowingly, the cat could be harmless. Millie finds the cat, but the cat doesn't attack her. She then shows it to her brother and her father, but somehow the dad denied it, causing Millie to scream. But the dad made up the mind and said that the cat can stay. This would cause Coop to ruin his life as well. So actually, Coop and Cat decided to have a demented dislike, despite Coop becoming the hero and the cat becoming a villain. Coop would actually get hurt frequently, but the damage heals faster than the humans would. For example, in Beware of the Where Coop, Cat's exploding moonbeam sucking machine gave Coop a pink eye in his left cornea. It lost the blue into his eye. It rapidly goes away, and his color returns soon. He's also holding a head of hair on his left hand, but tries to detach it. Alternatively, this could cause that he could be bald and was taken to wear a wig. But later in this episode, they were shown to have black and pink scars on his face. Dennis asked if Cat was bit or he could have scratched him. It was gone in the morning after a single night's sleep. Dennis actually throws the branch of the pussy willow through Coop's left nostril and emerges from the left ear. But yet there's no indication and no damage as well. In 9 to 5 Oblivion, he throws Cat off the tower. He gets scratched. Cat actually spreads his skin. But then he says, "Here we go again." He doesn't get hurt in this episode and has a toe jam collector. In Strange Cat on a train, the explosion blows. It falls so hot that it creates a crater, but it doesn't survive. Not only it survives, but it's immediately to pull out. The explosion actually was able to shatter on Bert's bottle capper. In Me, Coop, You're a Cat, Cat actually becomes the dinosaur and Coop becomes a caveman. He actually did this is because one, Cat's tricks cause Coop to become a caveman. Although he gets hurt, he becomes happy in the episode. Dennis decides to turn back into their original forms, but they began fighting. For Fangs of the Memories, Coop actually remembers the time where, Cat and Coop fought. But there was no injury on that. In Birthday Bash, when Coop turns 11 years old, Phoebe gets balloons. It was tied onto this left wrist. It was spent for a period of time dangling by one arm. It supports not only his weight, but it also supports of his friends such as Fiona, Phoebe, Holly, Lauren, and Dennis. There's also a scene that Coop was also dangling as well, including the entire group, because that means the weight is not known. It could be longer because of the screen portions. Also for Cat to the Future Part 1 and Part 2, there was an expectation that Coop's damage remains and helps him that he has an unmarked version of the self. As well as the first part, Dennis has hit him in the mental head shovel and remembers that he would take on the silhouette as a head. That includes his head that uses the long hairspray to have a living skeleton. Coop actually loves to spend his free time on a skateboard. He loves skateboarding, soccer, and loves hanging out with his friends. Dennis, his best friend, Lauren and Harley, two boys that wanted to make the film Catboy, and his crush Fiona. All this changes was forced when he dared to defend the Earth from Cat's schemes. Coop also attends school with his best friend Dennis. He's a capable student with grades that tends both rising and fail. Whenever he tries to finish his homework, Cat actually uses his claws and scratches it out. Miss Brannigan also blames Coop that his sister actually scratches the homework. I seriously mean, I can't believe Coop would get blamed for nothing just because an evil cat scratched off his homework. Coop is actually telling the truth, and Mr. Cat and Millie should get out of the school. You know what I really mean? You can't really bring cats to school. They would scratch you, you know? Like in one episode, in Dire Education, Millie brought her cat to school. However, the cat decides to get a bit cranky and escapes through Millie's classroom. Not only that, Cat is the one to take the blame, not Coop. Alright? However, Coop actually tries to finish his homework quickly because he had to fend off Cat to avoid getting into trouble. Coop's life at home just puts into a confrontation when Millie or Mr. Cat tries to get into his way. It leads to the construction of the tree fort in his background. However, Coop would get grounded by his father for no reason at all. Like, seriously, no reason at all. So Coop and Bert actually did get along pretty well. However, Bert actually grounds his dad, which is no good. And also Coop's younger sister, Millie, who calls her a nuisance, blaming him for everything that she can. Like, seriously, Coop is innocent, and he got accused of stealing cookies one time in the episode. Cookie duh. I seriously can't believe Coop would get the blame instead of Millie, but it was Millie's fault for eating the cookies, you know? And Coop got out of the blame. His sister got into trouble as well, which I'm really happy of, you know? Also for that, Dennis is one of Coop's friends that actually loves to fend off against Cat. But sometimes in these episodes, Coop and Cat basically do get along, but why is that? Well, Cat actually tries to help Coop in situations in some episodes as well, when they were fighting villains, alright? Coop and Dennis were very young together, and they loved Captain Blastoise ever since then. Also for Fiona, since she appeared in the season 2, episode 1, Something About Fiona, Coop had a huge crush on Fiona when they met. It seems that the relationship has been getting well, and Coop decides to put out a diamond ring, thinking that Coop was actually going to propose to Fiona. But when old lady Mrs. Munson called Coop back to get away from Fiona, he then breaks her back, you know. Also for that, Aunt Beatrix, who is Coop's aunt, he doesn't like it because, you know, it creeps him out. It's based on his reactions that seems to have not liked the place a lot. As well as this, Cat actually is the nemesis of Coop. And because of this, Cat actually cemented his place in the Burtonburger's household, whether Coop likes it or not. They sometimes don't get along with each other, but to prove a way to get it, Mr. Cat actually can be a hero sometimes, you know. Coop actually teamed up with Cat 8 times, and Coop saved Cat in a total of 3 times. Okay, there's another thing I wanted to say. Old lady Mrs. Munson and Coop don't get along together because she is Coop's enemies and punishes him by making him do backyard chores in the garden. But she treats Millie nicely and is also Burtonburger's enemy when he was very young. Also for Phoebe, it was Coop's biggest frenemy because she was sneaking up on Coop and trying to be his girlfriend. She was also the revival of Millie because she was rich, and Fiona because of her jealousy. Coop seems to be scared of her. As well as this, Mr. Cheeks had become enemies with Coop, but with the help of Cat, they defeated him in these 2 episodes, turned the other cheeks, and Strange Cat on the train. Also for that, Coop is a good kid. I seriously mean, his life was turned upside down, you know, when a cat came in. He was also known that he could get grounded as well. I seriously mean, why? Just seriously, why? Coop didn't do anything wrong. He's just an innocent kid. And as well as this, I can't believe it, you know? His life has been turned upside down because of an evil cat. And Millie should have gotten grounded instead of him. And instead of Bert grounding him, Millie should also get grounded. Alright? I know you guys have been wondering about this situation where Coop gets grounded and blamed for nothing. Yes, it is totally true because in a lot of episodes, Coop gets the blame instead of his sister, you know? His sister should be the one getting grounded, you know? Also for Miss Brannigan should have believed in Coop that his sister's cat had scratched up his homework, you know? I seriously mean, Miss Brannigan is definitely the worst teacher ever, you know? You know what I seriously mean? Miss Brannigan definitely did give Coop detention after he destroyed the science fair where Millie and her class are going on a field trip, but it was all the cat's fault. Although yes, it was a reward, Coop should have just thought about it with Dennis so they can team up and stop the evil cat, making the world believe him, you know? Like his friends. I only know some of his friends believed him because 1, Coop is a very nice kid. He doesn't deserve this, you know? Fiona helps him, including Dennis and the 2 boys, Lauren and Harley. They're all his friends. They don't hurt him. Unlike Phoebe, who is Fiona's rival, he gets really jealous of Coop and Fiona flirting, you know? Seriously me, Coop and Fiona are actually good kids, you know? But when it comes to Phoebe, you know, Phoebe would normally get jealous of Fiona because Coop likes her, you know? Okay guys, I think that's basically all that I really need to say about this. Very sorry about it. Didn't mean to, you know, talk about the character. I haven't been doing a lot of kid versus cat videos in a very long time. I'm very sorry about it. I know the video is going to be premiered during their 15th anniversary on October 25th. That is the day that the show debuted on Disney XD and on Jetix. Even though Jetix is no longer around, it is actually defunct in 2009. It was actually replaced with Disney XD, so most likely the show could have been premiered on Disney XD and Nickelodeon. And unfortunately for that, we couldn't see a season 3 episode where Coop and his friends team up to stop the evil cat because, you know, I was waiting for that episode to air where the kids all defeat Cat, Bert, and Millie, but that's not really happening. Anyways guys, that's all.